I'm excited to share with you the transformative Copt Hall Carbon Removals Project, part of the City of London Corporation's Climate Action Strategy to reach net zero in our own operations by 2027. Acquired in 1992 to limit urban development, Copt Hall provides wildlife support areas, protects the rural environment of Epping Forest, and serves as a protective buffer for its natural habitats and biodiversity. Starting in September 2024, we will have converted arable fields into over 73 hectares of diverse and sustainable grassland habitats, with nearly 20 wildflower and grass species, rejuvenating the land by storing more water, improving runoff water quality, restoring soil health, and creating new habitats. This £200,000 initiative aims to enhance biodiversity and sequester carbon as part of the wider 11,000 acres of open spaces, wildlife habitats, and national nature reserves, sites of special scientific interest, and special areas of conservation that the City of London Corporation is proud to manage.
The Carbon Removals Project is one of 13 of our projects sitting under the Climate Action Strategy, and it forms a really key part of supporting sequestration and supporting biodiversity and nature in the Climate Action Strategy. So whilst the majority of our net zero targets are focused on reducing our consumption, there's a really important part to play in protecting and increasing the sequestration that we see and can benefit from across all of our green spaces. The green spaces we have offer huge potential, and I think it's really important that we both protect them from climate change, but also support them in increasing the sequestration we can.
The aim of the project is to improve carbon sequestration through the habitat creation, but also what we're looking at doing is allowing natural regeneration for some of the habitats too. So although the arable reversion project, where we've converted fields to meadows, I think we've reverted about 8 fields, we're also looking at allowing natural regeneration areas across Copt Hall as well, but also to improve the habitats for biodiversity, so enhancing those, and to also ensure that it's linking up with the heritage features as well.
Getting to net zero is not cheap, but I'm really pleased that the City of London Corporation is investing £200,000 in this particular project. And what we are doing is taking relatively poor quality arable farmland and turning it into something that has a much higher biodiversity value.
It started in probably around 2018 when we were looking to see if we could make the estate larger compared to how it used to be. And ideally, if we're owning land, we want them to be useful for the forest, to be able to encourage insects and wildlife and animals into the forest. The thing that we want to do is to open our arms to our bufferlands and say, hey, if you're flying past, come here, create a home here. And then it creates more biodiversity, which then helps the forest as well as the bufferlands as well.
Open spaces such as Epping Forest are natural habitats that absorb carbon dioxide, a process known as carbon sequestration or removal. These spaces not only provide valued areas for people and nature, but also play a crucial role in carbon sequestration, removing 16 kilotons of carbon dioxide per year, equivalent to taking nearly 3,500 cars off the road annually.
So in addition to the habitats and the nature and the biodiversity we're trying to create through this site, we're also trying to alleviate some of the pressure that the forest is feeling. We now have about 13 million visitors in Epping Forest alone each year, and that pressure is being felt in the area of, a special area of conservation in particular. So by creating this alternative space that people can start to use, we will create and expand the benefits at a landscape scale of Epping Forest.
So the outcomes of the meadow creation project, the long-term aim is to create a species-rich grassland, and through this it will help with carbon sequestration, it will improve the habitats for biodiversity, it will improve the area's water quality, as well as reducing the soil disturbance, and all of this is supporting the Carbon Action Strategy and the Carbon Removals Project.
I think it's going to increase its beauty. I mean, I'm thrilled by the prospect of the wildflower meadows bringing in insects, which we are lacking, and some areas are good. But where we have flowers in Copt Hall Gardens, for example, we see insects, and outside that we don't. So I think there's a message.
Bird surveys are valuable, obviously intrinsically, because birds are interesting to people like me, but they're used very commonly to check areas because they're kind of mesotrophic species, so they're in the kind of middle of the sort of the chain, if you like. So if you've got birds of particular kinds, you know that they specialise in particular kinds of foods, particular insects or particular seeds. So if you're seeing them and they're managing to mount a breeding effort in the area, you know they've got the resource beneath them. It's literally a canary, almost, telling you that everything's going okay.
So yes, the sequestration of carbon, enormously important. If I can breathe a little more easily, if only in this local area, that would be a delight. That's got to be a good move. But I think for me, it really, I'll take us back to the visual aspect. And if I can walk amongst meadows with flowers, and I don't say that that's going to be completed in a couple of years even, but it's there for the future. And if that can be preserved, I think it will be a wonderful step forward.
The vision for Copt Hall is to protect its important heritage features while enhancing its biodiversity. To ensure this project meets its environmental goals, we will monitor soil carbon levels, biodiversity, such as bird species and insects, and use drone and photographic records to observe the land's development. A special thanks to our local open spaces teams for their dedication and hard work in making this project a success. Together, we can create a greener, more sustainable future for our community and the environment.